Total Carnage!
Total Carnage was released in 1992 in the arcades by Midway, and in 1993 the Super Nintendo version came out, which was ported by Black Pearl Software and published by Malibu Games. Total Carnage is an overhead run and gun with very many elements very similar to Smash TV. You can say this is kind of a follow-up. It uses a lot of the same sound effects, the same control scheme. It's kind of interesting to note that Ed Boon and John Tobias of Mortal Kombat fame also worked on this game. And this point in time was a really hot time for Midway because they had lots of great games like NBA Jam, Mortal Kombat, Smash TV that were in a pretty tight succession. And this kind of got lost in the fray. However, I think it's a pretty fun game. The game is pretty much Smash TV meets Operation Desert Storm. Fun arcade game meets then current war going on in the Middle East. You take control of Captain Carnage or Major Mayhem and basically shoot everything in sight, unless it's a scantily clad female, of course. The duo take on hordes of evil mutants and soldiers led by the tyrannical dictator General Akbu. The game was controlled by two sticks to move and fire in the arcades, and this being a Super Nintendo version, the four face buttons and the D-pad are solid stand-ins, and these controls work well. Visually, the game is scaled down quite a bit from its arcade counterpart, but that's to be expected. The characters are small and lack detail, but you can still tell what they are. The bosses aren't anywhere as huge as those in the arcade version either, but that's due to the limitations of the hardware. However, the game did keep its difficulty from the arcades. It's harder than a teenage boy with a lingerie catalog. Near-perfect arcade versions do exist, including ones that appear on the Midway Arcade Treasures compilations that have been released for a number of systems. You can also find versions of this on early PCs, and even a Game Boy version was released. Personally, I never spent a lot of time in the arcades growing up, so I never got to see this. I've actually never even played Smash TV either. However, this game, I think it has a lot of charm to it. The characters, the monsters you fight and whatnot, they're all very over the top, and there's a lot of kind of ridiculousness to it, and it adds a lot of the charm to the game. If you missed out on this game back in the day, I suggest you check it out. Just be prepared to die quickly, die often, because you gotta be pretty hardcore to get far in this game. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Take care.
I love it! I'll buy you for $1.